Quiet.
Recording.
Right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And shall we get cracking with John's news of the group?
I'll keep it brief. I went to see Ed yesterday. He was in good form. He was singing, and he's all right. But he's just, as you'd expect, very fed up. I mean, he went in the Bayton home just before the lockdown. No sooner was he ensconced than they locked him down. And he's not been out since, apart from on the front porch. And it's a horrible situation to be in. So he's not enjoying that. But I bought him a box of 24 packets of Fisherman's Friends because he'd been moaning that he needed Fisherman's Friends. I did warn him that they did have a laxative effect. He ate too many. So he was happy, but for how long?
Happy as pig in shit. Never mind.
Hang on, you're recording, Ian.
I know.
We've got an offer of a room at Prince Edward School to use if we want future meetings. I'm not pursuing it just yet in view of the announcement last night. So it can wait a bit, but as soon as we can get moving, I'll examine it, see if it suits, and if one or two of you want to come along with me, that's fine. And that's about it, really. Thank you.
Thank you. John?
Yes,
do you know anything about Tricia? Is she okay? She used to post a fair bit on the WhatsApp, but I've not heard from her for weeks.
I exchanged WhatsApps with her yesterday, and she was fine yesterday.
Right, that's okay. That's fine.
Paul.
I saw a couple of weeks ago, Paul, in Sainsbury's, and she was okay then.
Right, that's fine, as long as she's okay. No.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
I suppose the recent developments of Scotch, any plans to reopen the library?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
One of the things I've noticed, obviously because I'm involved with the football, is that even at the very high level tier, it doesn't stop local football organised to be able to continue. So anyway, that's look. Getting into stadiums is still a no-no. And one of the doctors, is it Van Tam? He came out and said something about the virus can be spread by shouting and singing. So no doubt that's where the stadium bans are.
That's why theatres are shut.
Eh?
One of the reasons theatres are shut, Keith.
Yeah.
Well, it's
But many of those are reopening this week.
Right.
Marcel Marceau would be popular, though, wouldn't he?
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
They did a sort of virtual musical over the weekend. I think it was in the voting period for Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
It was really quite good. It was really quite good. So people got to think a different dimension, and once they've stopped linking their wounds and put the thinking caps on, they'll come up with some really novel ideas, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they didn't. Well, I suppose they did get some money for it, but generally speaking.
Yeah. Money's the root of all evil, and I'm afraid we're in an evil era at the moment.
Yeah. Right, we'll move swiftly on then to LOL's News of the Week. News of the Week.
LOL, News of the Week. News of the Week.
There's quite a lot of it as well.
Oh no!
Oh no!
We've only got 2 seconds.
Little item on cricket. Now, the Australian women have equalled the world record 21-game winning run in one-day internationals after beating New Zealand by 232 runs in Brisbane. Looking to match the record set by Ricky Ponting's Australian side in 2003, the hosts scored 325 for 5 before bowling the visitors out for 93 to win the series 3-0. This was New Zealand's biggest ODI defeat by Australia, who can now go on to make a new world record when they meet India next January. Somebody say something then.
The dog was licking you, lol.
Did you say this was women, the women's cricket?
The women's cricket, yeah.
Yeah.
They've
With all
equalled
due
Ricky
respect, he don't really match Ricky Ponting's team.
Ricky
does he?
Ponting, where does that come from?
Yeah. There's no comparison
No
whatsoever.
comparison.
Ponting in the news.
Don't shoot the messenger.
It's
Right.
Chris's favourite subject, women's cricket.
It's a good game,
Well, we're
but it's
no-
a separate game. It's
Yeah.
a very good game, but it's
Yeah.
nothing to do with men's cricket. It's nothing to do
You
with
can't make direct comparisons.
As
Chris,
is women's football.
Chris, you sounding
Exactly,
more like
Paul.
Boris every week. You come
More
out with
like
an
what?
more like Boris every week. You come out with an official version a week after the knee jerk.
I've been very consistent in my views.
Right, we'll nip on to rugby union.
Aye. Oh no, sorry.
Now, next year's
Ah.
Six Nations could be delayed in an attempt to ensure matches are played in front of crowds. The tournament is scheduled to begin in February, but initial talks are now taking place about pushing it back. England's Rugby Football Union has projected a £138 million loss should fans not be allowed in the stadiums, and the other nations have similar concerns. Now, last weekend, Exeter stayed on course for a domestic and European double by beating Bath 35-6 in their Premiership semi-final. The Chiefs will now meet Wasps, who beat Bristol 47-24 in the other semi-final, and the final will be played at Twickenham on the 24th of October. Anybody watch it?
Yeah,
I thought
Yeah.
they might do.
very good.
Watch the highlights.
It's good.
Right, nip on to tennis. Now, Britain's Alfie Hewitt won his second title of the French Open by beating Belgium's Joachim Gerard in the wheelchair men's singles final. He won the doubles on Friday with his partner Gordon Reid for his 9th Grand Slam in that event. It is the second time he has won the singles at Roland Garros and his 4th Grand Slam in that event. Now, Polish teenager, 19-year-old Iga Świątek, completed a stunning rise by becoming the lowest ranked woman in all time to win the French Open singles title. She's a former Wimbledon junior champion, but the world number 54, her rise to Roland Garros history has been swift and surprising. In beating 4th seed Sofia Kenin 6-4, 6-1 in the final, she lifted the trophy without losing a set in the whole tournament. That's some young girl to watch out for.
She's on a gap. Lol. She's on a gap year. She decided to have a year. Seriously, she decided to have a year on the tour between leaving school and going to uni.
What
I
a
think
girl.
you have to delay a uni.
Do you think she might not? She might put going to uni off.
That is the thought. Yes.
She's going to make a bit more money in tennis than uni, I think.
Yeah. Why ain't she wasting the time drinking and taking drugs and stuff? Eh? Or why is she wasting the time with tennis?
She absolutely annihilated
Yeah.
Fiora games, and they just couldn't live with her.
Yeah.
Apparently she didn't drop a set, did she? All,
No.
You can imagine the others saying, "Why the hell don't you go to university?"
Should
Go
be
to
locked down somewhere.
The men will be saying the same about Rafa.
Yeah.
Then the men's final.
He didn't drop a set, no.
No. He's made more comebacks than Frank Sinatra, hasn't he, really, after serious injuries?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Rafa Nadal, he produced one of his finest French Open displays to stun top seed Novak Djokovic and equal Roger Federer's record of 20 Grand Slam men's titles. Spanish second seed Nadal outclassed world number 1 Djokovic in a 6-0, 6-2, 7-5 win, which clinched a record extending 13th title at Roland Garros. Nadal gave an almost flawless performance as his opponent lost a completed match for the first time this year. He was never in it, was he, Djokovic?
No.
Especially that first set, 6-0. Anybody remember Djokovic losing a set 6-0 before?
On clay.
Well, anywhere.
I can't.
Anyway.
I think Nadal on clay is invincible, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Now then, little bit
Dave.
on horse race. Go on.
Just hang on a second, Lol. Dave the fish.
Yes.
Has Sue got you in the mushroom policy?
Yes. We've got a total eclipse here.
Yeah, you've not got Bonnie Tyler with you, have you?
Oh, yes.
Go to horse racing.
That's
This item can only belong to
Turn
the
that
Irish.
light off.
Can't afford light.
Right, only the Irish could do this next trick. The champion Irish trainer, Aidan O'Brien, has apologised after a major mix-up involving his runners last Friday at the big race at Newmarket. His 50-to-1 shot, Snowfall, was officially named third in the Fillies Mile, but it was actually 18-to-1 stablemate Mother Earth, after they ran with the wrong riders and the wrong number cloths. Snowfall, who was supposed to carry number 9 and be ridden by James Doyle in the Group 1 race, actually had number 5 and was ridden by William Buick. What a cock-up, eh?
But that's twice, because didn't he have the problem with the dodgy feed in the Arc last week as well?
Yeah.
United might turn up with Messi by mistake in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Not in a stable.
Now, another bit on horse racing. We discussed this last week about Enable.
Yeah.
A record-breaking mare, Enable, has now been retired from racing. The 6-year-old finished 6th when seeking a historic third Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe victory on the 4th of October. Enable, ridden by Frank Dettori for Newmarket trainer John Gosden, won a record third King George and Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Ascot in July. Dettori admitted to crying and feeling emotional on hearing the news that he won't race her again. So he's very upset by that decision. Formula One. Now, as I mentioned last week, Red Bull's engine supplier Honda will no longer be involved with Formula One in 2022, leaving Red Bull looking for someone else to supply them. Mercedes have said they won't, as they haven't the capacity after taking on McLaren on board last year to supply them. This leaves them to do a deal with either Renault or Ferrari, or taking over the right to run Honda's engines themselves and rebadging the units into 2022. Anybody any thoughts on that?
About a Robin Reliant.
They're saying, Lol, I don't know if you caught the prelim.
Yeah.
Grand Prix. They're
He's
saying
down the road.
it's a big threat to Formula One and is opening the door for cars.
For what cars?
Oh, for what? Sorry.
Electric cars.
All right.
They're all going politically correct, and if the big suppliers move, the money will move to e-racing, e-Formula One or whatever, and Formula One will die. That's what the pundits were saying. I think there's a few years left in it yet, but it's interesting to hear what the informed opinion is.
Yep.
That's
Long
why.
enough for Hamilton to get his century.
Yeah.
Carrying on with Formula One, the low cloud and fog forced the cancellation of both Friday practice sessions at Eiffel Grand Prix in West Germany. The medical helicopter was unable to fly at the Nürburgring as a result of the conditions, which meant the cars could not run on safety grounds. Formula One rules dictate.
Can I just interrupt a second?
One.
There's a flood outside my house, so I'm about to leave. I'll stay tuned in. I might be able to join you later.
A flood?
The road's blown up in front of the doctors, John.
Bloody. How am I going to escape later, Ron?
No, seriously,
No,
you're not, John. Go up Chapel Street and that way around.
Yeah, thanks for that, Ron.
Yeah, poor old Ron.
Yeah, I've got to go out later, and that's my route.
What a to-do, Ron.
I'll speak to you later.
You have to go by the chip shop, John. What's his name?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the name of the fish chip shop there?
Tony's.
Tony's. That's the best.
Tony's chip shop.
Sheffield.
And then turn left and go past Admiral chip shop.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Best in Mosborough.
Yes.
Which one?
Tony's.
Yes.
I preferred Admiral.
No.
I agree with John.
Yeah. Bigger fish, bigger chips.
I prefer Admiral, but the best one round here is Shaw's at Killamarsh.
Just go to all three.
That's a good idea.
You get any biscuits, Paul?
All right.
Can you put it in better?
They would in Glasgow.
Carrying on with Formula One. As I was saying, the Formula One rules dictate that the road journey to a suitable hospital must be no longer than 20 minutes. The nearest medical facilities are 54 kilometres away. The lack of running meant that young drivers Mick Schumacher and Callum Ilott were not able to make their scheduled debut outings in the Alfa Romeo and Haas cars in the first session as planned. Right, what's next?
Just a minute, Lol.
Yep.
Why is a Grand Prix in Germany called Eiffel Grand Prix?
That's the area.
Because Eiffel's a German name.
It's the area. It was the area where it was run. It's nothing to do with France.
No. The Eiffel Tower was designed by Eiffel.
Yeah.
There was a girl in the
It's
West.
a right Eiffel, isn't it?
There's a girl in the West we used to call Eiffel.
But it was supposed to be the Japanese Grand Prix, Keith, but they transferred it to Germany because they could run it there.
Right.
With the virus. Okay.
Yep.
I think we're now on to football, of which there's a little bit.
Lol.
Yes.
We've still got a bit of the Formula One Grand Prix to go yet, haven't we?
Hang on, I've finished that yet.
What do you think you're, Mick?
I'll carry with my Grand Prix.
All this talk of fish and chips, he's getting his fish and chip paper out.
Now, Lewis Hamilton equalled the all-time record for career Formula One victories by winning the Eiffel Grand Prix, starting second on the grid behind teammate Bottas, who was on pole. He won his 91st race to draw level with Michael Schumacher on most wins. The championship lead over Bottas increased to 69 points after the Finn retired. Max Verstappen's Red Bull came second, and Daniel Ricciardo, who scored Renault's first podium since returning to Formula One as a constructor in 2016, came third. Now we're going to football now. There's quite a little bit of football.
Just a second, Lol. Just a second, Lol. I don't know if you picked up, but I wasn't aware that Mercedes have got a traction system on their front wheels. Do you remember in the race where they brought the pace car out after an accident and they all bunched up? So Lewis Hamilton lost a 30-second lead or something. So they were all within a lap. He'd got about 2 seconds ahead because they say he had a traction system on his front tyres, which were cold, which just gave him that extra advantage.
No, they said he'd got a tractor behind him that were blocking others. That's what it was.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'm sorry, I misheard that. Sorry.
Yeah,
But I'm just surprised they've got away with it.
well, I think they got something. It's the same thing, but it warms their front tyres up.
That'll be it. That'll be it.
Whereas the others have to go on cold tyres.
Well, why have the FIA not regulated on that? They regulate on everything else. So it surprised me, that's all.
It's weird. Every little thing they pick up on, don't they?
Yeah.
Why have they not picked up on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose if they stop everything, then you don't move forward.
Well, you do, because you've got to. Otherwise, you don't win the... You can't win it backwards.
Excuse me.
It's about time that he told people that he wasn't available on Tuesday mornings. Anyway.
He's probably on a problem. You never know.
Aren't you going to have to help old Ron with his clearing up of the water?
He's getting the canoe out.
Yes.
Come on, Lol. We don't know how long he's going to be.
Okay. we're starting with football now. Some sad news coming out yesterday about former Sheffield Wednesday assistant manager Richie Barker has passed away at the age of 80.
Oh,
He joined the
dear.
Owls in February 1989 and worked alongside Ron Atkinson, the manager at the time. When Atkinson departed, he then worked with Trevor Francis, the new manager, before switching to a role of Director of Football Development. He left Sheffield 6 to link up again with Francis at Birmingham in 1996. Now, prior to his coaching career, he played for Derby, Notts County, and Peterborough. After injury forced early retirement on the field, he moved off it to manage Shrewsbury, Stoke, Notts County, Ethnikos in Greece, Zamalek in Egypt, and then West Brom. So that's a little tribute to Richie Barker.
Yeah, I saw him play quite a few games.
Yeah.
He's a
Centre forward,
good man.
Chris, centre forward, was he?
He was a centre forward for Derby County when I saw him play. And he was a very, very tough competitor. And I've always had a very healthy respect for Richie Barker. I didn't know that, Paul, so thank you for updating me. That's yeah, thank you. It's very sad.
Well, during his time at Hillsborough, we had a really good team, didn't we, under Atkinson and Francis, and a lot of that has got to go down to his coaching.
Well, he got relegated first season he was there, and then promoted immediately back to the Premiership the year after.
Yeah, and won the League Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah.
Now, Barnsley boss Gerhard Struber has left the Championship club after only 11 months in charge to become the new head coach of New York Red Bulls. The MLS club have met a significant contractual release clause to recruit the 43-year-old Austrian. Last season, Struber guided the Tykes to safety in the Championship thanks to 2 wins in their last 2 games. He won 14 and lost 17 of his 39 games in charge after joining from Austrian side Wolfsberger last November. Any comments on that? Short stay, wasn't it, for him?
Well, if you've got a choice between Barnsley or New York, it's New York, isn't it?
Says something though that New York go headhunting in Barnsley, doesn't it?
He said that I'm back, by the way, everyone. By the way, John, definitely do not come down the bottom half of Queen Street.
I'll try not to, Ron.
He was saying that Barnsley have got no ambition. They won't put any money in. And yet, the owners of Barnsley are the richest owners in the Championship.
Are they?
They
Who
are.
owns
They're
Barnsley,
worth
Ron?
well, it's a consortium that are worth 7.1 billion.
Blimey.
They got 2 billion more than Chancery.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fancy that.
But he said the reason he's going is they've got no ambition. They won't spend any money on players.
I don't know.
What nationality is the consortium?
Chancery's proved that you can't, it doesn't matter how rich you are, you've got to stick in the fair play. And they don't earn enough money, do they?
No. As Paul was saying, are they American, are they Chinese, or what, this consortium?
They're
co-op.
They're East Asian. I think they might be from Singapore.
Oh, okay.
They know a lot about football. After losing their first 4 matches of the season, Nottingham Forest have appointed Chris Hughton as their new manager after sacking Sabri Lamouchi. They failed to win any of their last 10 league games under Lamouchi, collapsing spectacularly at the end of last season to miss out on the playoffs. It is 61-year-old Hughton's first job since leaving Brighton last year. Another chap who's lost his job is Graham Alexander. The Salford City have sacked him and put ex-Manchester United player Paul Scholes in temporary charge. Alexander led the club to promotion to the EFL in his first season in 2018-19 with them. He leaves the club in 5th place in League Two, having gone unbeaten in the first 5 games this season. So
And
I
they've
think
sacked him.
they've sacked him. I think he must have had a disagreement with the.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
It's
There
also-
are a few people there you disagree with, aren't there? Yeah.
Staggers me that the assumption is that a good player will always make a good manager. I've yet to see it.
No.
Well,
It's either a disagreement or it might be a cost-saving item.
They've given no reason though for it. They
No.
can't do it
Talking
on
about
performance.
cost saving, Arsenal and their mascot, been with them 25 years and they get rid of the mascot, Gunnosaurus, to save money. What?
what did you call him? Gunnosaurus?
Gunnosaurus. Yeah.
Has he been there that long?
Gunnosaurus.
No, Gunnosaurus.
No, it's true. Gunnosaurus.
They-
25
they-
years
they
he's
keep-
been there and they save money by sacking the mascot.
They keep Ozil.
But somebody's put money into
They
paid wage.
paid. What is it? Ozil 8 million. Is it Ozil? £8 million
yeah.
loyalty payments in September, and he hasn't played since March.
Doesn't know the word loyalty.
It's Arsenal, that won't,
Mascot.
it's Arsenal that won't play him.
Ozil's the mascot.
He's too small.
Put him inside that suit, he's all
Couldn't
right.
get in the suit.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Chelsea's Oliver Giroud became France's second highest goal scorer of all time when he scored twice in a friendly against the Ukraine last week. He surpassed Platini and now has 42 goals in 100 international appearances, 9 behind Thierry Henry's record. Now, Marcus Rashford, he's become an MBE in the Queen's Birthday Honours List. He got this award for his campaign for the government to allow about 1.3 million children to claim free school meal vouchers in England, summer holidays during the pandemic. He's asked the Prime Minister Boris Johnson to extend this scheme for needy families. Now, last weekend, Mason Mount. Come on.
Hang on. If we start a campaign to get rid of Boris, do you think we'll get a knighthood? No? All right. Just a thought.
No, he's got the
non-political
nominated
contract,
Keith.
Keith.
Oh, sorry. Well, he is non-political.
You're incurring Ian's anger now, I can see it. Yeah.
Get rid of his mascot, Cummins.
No, that's an idea. Non-political is a civil servant, or is it? An uncivil servant?
No, he's not a civil servant.
Special advisor.
What is
He's
he then?
employed by the Conservative Party.
All
He's
right.
employed by the Conservative Party.
Right, I'll let him off then, for
That
nothing.
time he got a good barber.
Good spitting image puppet, though.
I'm still trying to work out why they call Gunner's mascot Gunnosaurus. You know, it can't be that.
Well, Gunner's obvious, isn't it? Where the Saurus comes from, anybody's
Well, not that.
business.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
dinosaur,
it's-
isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
like a brontosaurus, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
I
outfit.
got that bit, but
Yeah, but why the dinosaur link with Arsenal?
yeah.
Good question.
Anyway, fascinating.
It really upset me, actually. I can't work it out.
You're
Right.
going
You'd
to
think it'd
lose
be a bit
sleep
canned,
over
wouldn't
that.
it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Now, Mason Mount scored a deflected winner as England came from behind to beat Belgium 2-1 in the Nations League. Romelu Lukaku netted a penalty as the world's top-ranked team dominated the first half at Wembley. After Marcus Rashford scored his own penalty just before half-time, England improved and got their reward after 64 minutes as Mount's deflected shot took a wicked deflection of Toby Alderweireld and looped high into the net.
Don't you think penalties are getting more and more ridiculous?
Yeah.
The shenanigans that players are doing before they actually get up to kick the ball. They'll be doing somersaults and Indian rope tricks and all sorts in near future before they kick the ball.
You
What
mean the
if,
whole...
Ridiculous.
what if the goalkeeper starts laughing for the all? Does anybody get a card? You know, he made me laugh. That's ungentlemanly conduct or something.
Yeah.
It's getting
Yeah.
out of hand, is it? You could get.
Well, that's stuttering, starting, hiccuping, having a fit. It's
You could
ridiculous.
get a role in this, John. You could be brought on just to take on penalties in your pantomime outfit. You know.
I am the worst penalty taker the world's ever seen, Ian. I only ever scored one penalty in my life.
So long as they don't actually stop.
Which Pelly did when he took that penalty against Ron Springate for Santos. He stopped the bugger.
That's why you don't like Pele.
No,
I found out now.
Pele, well, that's one of the reasons I don't like him. I just think he's overrated. I think he's a terrific player, but what the media do is automatically they overrated Messi, they overrate Ronaldo, they become gods. And
John,
they're humans and they make mistakes.
John, he speaks very highly of you.
He should do. I taught him all he knew.
But they changed the rules since those days. They changed the rules about 10 years ago.
They've changed them several times.
About not being able to stop in the run-up. The goalkeeper said it wasn't fair. Anyway.
No, but going back to Pele, he's definitely in the top 3 best players of all time. I just think he's not the genius that some of the press say he was.
And who were the other 2, John? Sheffield Wednesday boys.
There aren't any Wednesday players I'd put anywhere near that category here. No.
I would.
Which one?
TC, right up there.
Terry Curran.
Yeah. On that Boxing Day game, yes, but the rest of his career, no. Tony Curry was right up there.
Oh yeah. Hey, don't you think that Grealish is a very poor man's Tony Curry?
Yeah.
I mean, you got all this furore. Let's get Grealish in the team. He's a shadow of Tony Curry, and a very slight shadow.
He's a dishonest player. He's a dishonest player.
He is. Very
George, he's going to blow when he falls down.
He's got shares in grass, hasn't
I had to laugh.
Sponsored by Purcell.
I think it was the Ireland game. Mick McCarthy was talking about one of the players going down easily, and he said, "I don't think he'd go down that easily if somebody were after his wallet." I thought were very good.
Very good.
He's good, McCarthy.
Yeah, he's good.
I thought England were rubbish last week, both games.
Yep.
Yes, they were.
Sterile football.
Won both, though.
What a perfect phrase.
Won them both. That's what matters.
Sterile football. I think that all this stuff behind closed doors is sterile.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Absolutely dreadful.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Ron.
It's not got the passion. It's not got the adrenaline.
Then they won them both, and Belgium haven't lost for 2 years.
No, that's my next item. That
You need a lifeboat, Ron.
Is it? Go on, then, Lol. Sorry.
Go on, Lol.
First, like Ron says, first defeat in 2 years, which was across 13 games, and it left manager Roberto Martinez wondering how they didn't take the points after being so much on top early on in the game. They play Denmark tomorrow, don't they, at Wembley?
Yep.
I think it's tomorrow. Do you want to come back for the last bit? It's about Wednesday again.
Oh yeah, well, 1 minute, 10 seconds. So we.
Yeah. Well, that's all he needs for Wednesday, surely.
Give it 10 seconds.
Only a little bit.
No, we're less than a minute. So let's wrap this one up, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Righto.